What's up, guys?
What is up?
Welcome back. So my name is Raterman.
Nick Seamy.
Both of us were college football players at Ohio State. We're here to help you guys, give you guys some tips. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about how to make it to the NFL. So unfortunately, I never made it to the NFL. I actually don't. It's not really a huge aspiration of mine. College was like the level I was aspiring to get to. Ohio State was the school I wanted to go to and play at. Nick, on the other hand, has other goals. So he's actually, he still currently wants to make it to the NFL, and he's gotten very close. So hopefully he's going to get another chance here in about, maybe 6 months. But he's going to tell you guys his tips on how to make it to the NFL and what he's done so far. Take it away.
So my time at Ohio State, predominantly like defensive end. Didn't really see the field a whole lot, but I tried to make my mark on special teams. So I had long snapping kind of in my back pocket. I learned in high school. And I also was long snapping at Ashland University because I was there for a year before I transferred to Ohio State. So that's kind of something that I didn't know that I was going to end up using it at Ohio State, and obviously, potentially at the next level. But that's kind of what I'm working on right now. So
So I guess to start things off for you guys, there's really two ways that you could make it to the NFL. So first of all, you can't get drafted out of high school. That's not a thing. You actually have to do 3 years minimum in college before you're eligible for the NFL draft. And so what happens is if you're a beast in college, you're at a top school, and you're doing super well, you have a chance to get drafted right out of college, maybe in 3 years. Some people it's 4 years, some people it's 5 years. And then they can get drafted during the NFL draft that everybody generally watches. The other route that we're going to be talking mainly about is being in an undrafted free agent.
Yep.
So you didn't get drafted during the initial draft. However, you're still a free agent and you can still get picked up. So Nick, tell them about sort of what happened with you and what that process is like with the pro day, and then kind of the mini camps and things that you did.
Yeah, so a big thing for me was because I didn't have a lot of film on tape, I had actually the opportunity to participate at the pro day for Ohio State, which was huge because obviously they were there to check out the major athletes that were going to get drafted. So I kind of was sliding in there and hopefully making my mark in a different way.
Tell them what the pro day is too.
So the pro day is they have scouts, NFL scouts coming in. Sometimes they have head coaches, GMs, position coaches. So they fly in for it. So Ohio State hosts their own. Some schools aren't as fortunate to do that. So I was definitely lucky in that right.
And any player that's within good standing at Ohio State, like if you were within good standing with your coaches and stuff, they would allow you to do and participate in the pro day to get in front of all these different coaches and GMs and stuff. So that's actually what Nick ended up doing.
Yeah, so my last semester of school, I was also fortunate too, where I had to complete an internship for my major. So I was a strength and conditioning intern, and then I solely focused on the pro day. So my whole day was, I spent with the strength staff, coaching players, and then I also got to train. So it was pretty ideal on that front. So in terms of the pro day makeup, you go in the morning, you get weighed in, and then they take you through drills in the weight room and then drills on the field. So the ones in the weight room were the bench press, so the 225 test, the standing vertical, the broad jump, and that was really it. And then you're basically in your metrics, so like your hand span, your weight, your height, wingspan.
It's sort of like a mini.
It's like a combine.
A mini combine, if you will. It's almost, I would say, similar to the walk-on tryout that we talk a lot about. Maybe not as extensive as the NFL combine itself, but sort of a miniature version of it. Yeah.
So, and then after that, you have on-field drills. So the 40-yard dash, the pro shuttle, the 60-yard shuttle, the L cone drill, all those. So, and then it breaks up, and then it breaks it down by position groups. Usually an NFL coach is partnering with Ohio State, and they run, that certain position drill. So I was kind of an anomaly in a way because I didn't participate in any of the position drills, on the field. I was more so on the side, and there was minimal special teams coaches there. I talked to my head strength coach, and he kind of looked around to see if there's any specialists there, and I was able to snap in front of, a few coaches at the pro day. Fortunately enough, so if you don't get drafted to the 255 or 256 that get drafted on, over the course of 3 days or the 7 rounds, it goes in the undrafted kind of realm where A lot of guys obviously are undrafted. It's a little bit different for specialists because obviously there's limited spots. There's only 32 snappers, 32 punters, 32 kickers. So it might be a little bit different, if you're trying to make it, on the field in a position group, whether it's offense or defense. But yeah, so after that, you're kind of in a realm where you're waiting for a call. So before that, right before draft day, I got a call and I got to participate in another pro day, another opportunity to kind of showcase my talent at like a local pro day at Cleveland for Cleveland Browns, because that's where I'm originally from anyway. So really for the local pro days, those are available to anyone that, like the residents that you're in. So say for instance, I lived in Ohio. I was eligible to be at the local pro day either in Cincinnati or in Cleveland.
Now, is that just for people that are graduating that year or like coming out of their college career?
That are eligible. Yeah, they're eligible for the draft.
What about, could you do that, maybe 5 years after you're done with college?
Typically not. So it's usually your first year out, because that's probably when you have the most traction in terms of eyes on you, because you're at the university, you're recently on the roster. Coaches are able to talk about, what you're able to do more so at that time instead of like years down the road. So
cool.
But yeah.
And so I guess tell them a little bit about, what happened at that pro day, how you kind of got a look, and then, the chances that you get.
Yeah. So I originally, I went to the local pro day. I was trying to do fullback drills. So I ran through with the running backs, tried to show that I could move the best I could. And then I had my really good buddy, Zach Turnier. Shout out to Zach. We were at the pro day together also with Elijah and Trey Forte. And I asked Zach, I was like, hey, like, I don't see anyone snapping. I don't see anyone else doing it. And so, Zach kind of, kept talking to me. He's in my ear. He's like, just go up to the coach and ask, So I went up to the, special teams coach, and I was like, I'm able to snap, if you don't mind taking some time and watching. So he was ecstatic about it. He's like, all right, let's see what you got. So they put the film on me, and it was just myself and Zach, and it was honestly a great experience. So I was able to get a call, right after draft day, and I actually got interest from the Cleveland Browns, Cincinnati Bengals. I was able to spend the rookie mini camps there. So those are like a 3-day weekend kind of mini camp. So
yeah. So basically what happened with Nick is he got, through the mini camps, and then obviously they were like in negotiations with the current long snapper, trying to see if that guy was going to stick around or if he wanted more money or not. They literally told Nick that he was the number 2 guy, but they ended up keeping that original long snapper, so he didn't get the spot. And then now he's kind of in a limbo period where potentially they could call at some point if something came up. But he's going to need to go back another time this year and, try again at another camp, and see if anything can happen from there. So I guess really to wrap things up, what would you say the top 3 tips are for, making it to the NFL through the undrafted free agency?
I think, like I said, it's a little bit different, if you're a position player versus a specialist. But I think the big thing is you have to stay patient, and you have to understand that you kind of have to try to see the light at the end of the tunnel. Everything that you're working towards, might not have immediate payoff, but it's something that you kind of have to put in the back of your head that this might be a 1, 2, 3 year, 4 year deal, where you finally break through, and that, hasn't happened for me yet. But, I was fortunate enough to have the opportunities that I've had. I'm grateful for that, whether something works out or not.
Give them 2 tactical ones. Like, what would you do to at least go to the pro day, prepare for it, and then get to the NFL and impress them when you're there?
I would say 2 things. You're going to have to invest in yourself, whether that's a trainer, whether that is a position coach or a guru of some sort. So you're going to have to invest in yourself. You're going to have to kind of go outside your comfort zone and realize that you might not be able to do it all yourself, and understand that it's something that you're trying to reach another level. Like, you have to be better than the guys that are already there in the league. So you might be already great at what you do, but you kind of have to take that next step. And also too, I think it's just hard work, and that's really about it. I think it's a lot of it is trying to put stuff on film, whether you have an agent or not. And I think it's something where you can kind of facilitate, sending stuff out to teams. Yeah. So I'd really say if you have film, try to utilize an agent to spread, amongst all the teams that you can.
Yeah, an agent's really going to just be the vessel through which you can distribute, your talent, your skill, your communication to all the different teams to get the most opportunity out of it. So I guess to wrap things up, to make it to the NFL, you got to, play 3 years in college. It doesn't necessarily matter where you play for, but obviously the top schools have a way better percentage of getting those people to the NFL. So playing at a top school definitely helps. And then, getting your foot in the door on special teams is a great way to do it, whether that's at the college or the NFL level. You could start, playing special teams in college and then work your way up to a starter position as a regular, position on the field, and then go that route and try to get drafted in the regular 200 or so that get drafted. Or, like we said, if you can't make it that way, undrafted free agency, go to the pro days,
Camps,
ball out, go to the
do,
camps, invest in a coach, an agent, and then really have them try to, push you on to the next level. So hopefully that video helps you guys. That's how you can make it to the NFL. There's really only 1 to 2 paths. You got to go to college, and you got to either get drafted or go free agency route. So hopefully that clears things up for you guys and gives you a little bit of tips. We will make sure that we answer all your guys' questions. Leave some questions for us below. Make sure you smash the like button, subscribe, and follow Nick on Instagram at NickSeeMe_, and then me at ClayRat. And we will see you guys in the next video.
Appreciate it, guys.
Peace.